There are bands that come and go, and then there are bands that leave their mark on eternity. AC/DC belongs to the second category. For decades, their riffs have shaken walls, their choruses have been chanted in stadiums, and their concerts have been described as nothing short of seismic. But behind the electrified thunder lies a deeply human story. A story of sacrifice, of loss, and of an unbelievable ability to rise again after every blow. It's the story of a family, of brotherhood, and of survival against all odds. To understand AC/DC, we need to go back to Glasgow, Scotland. Brothers Malcolm and Angus Young didn't grow up in the spotlight. Their childhood was marked by hardship and silent sickness. In their working-class neighborhood, the lead pipes contaminated the drinking water. That small detail shaped their lives forever. Both would remain under 5'3", but their height was the least of their struggles. Their father William often found himself unemployed. Their mother Margaret worked tirelessly to hold the family together. And then came the winter of 1963, the coldest in living memory. In the frost and hunger, the family realized they had no future in Scotland. That's when they left for Australia, part of an immigration program known as the Pound Poms. For just £10, they could escape poverty and chase a better life. But reality was harsher. The Youngs were placed in migrant hostels, metal barracks crammed with families from all over the world. Still, out of this struggle, something powerful was born. A spark that would become rock and roll.
In Sydney, the Young brothers discovered music as an escape. They weren't the first in the family. Their older brother George had already founded the Easy Beats, one of Australia's most beloved bands. Inspired, Malcolm and Angus set out on their own path. In 1973, they formed AC/DC. The name came from their sister Margaret, who spotted the letters AC/DC on a sewing machine. Alternating current, direct current. A perfect symbol for the energy they wanted to unleash.
She was a fast machine, she kept the motor clean, she was the best damn woman.
AC/DC quickly built a reputation. But it wasn't just about the riffs, it was about their frontman, Bon Scott. He wasn't just a singer, he was chaos wrapped in leather. Charismatic, reckless, unpredictable, he embodied the danger of rock and roll. With him, AC/DC recorded a string of albums: High Voltage, Let There Be Rock, Highway to Hell. Each release louder and bolder than the last. Each tour more explosive. AC/DC was no longer just a band, it was a global force. Then, on February 19, 1980, it all came crashing down. Bon Scott was found dead in a car in London. The official report said he had choked on his own vomit after a night of heavy drinking. Others whispered about heroin. Whatever the cause, AC/DC had lost its soul. Many thought it was over.
But it wasn't over.
Not even close. Just months later, AC/DC came roaring back with a new singer, Brian Johnson. With his screeching voice and raw energy, he was the perfect fit. Together, they recorded Back in Black, an album dedicated to Bon Scott. It went on to become one of the best-selling records in history. Songs like Hell's Bells and You Shook Me All Night Long became instant classics. AC/DC had not only survived, they were bigger than ever. But success never came without scars. In 1988, Malcolm Young was forced to step away. Alcohol had taken hold of him. Angus begged his brother to fight back. "I don't want to lose you the way we lost Bon." Malcolm entered rehab, eventually returning, but the years left their mark. In 1991, tragedy struck again, during a concert in Salt Lake City. A crowd surge left 3 teenagers dead. The band was devastated. Brian Johnson later admitted, "No matter how many years pass, you think about it. You just hope it never happens again." And in the 2010s, another heartbreak. Malcolm Young, the band's backbone and architect of their sound, began to lose his memory. Dementia slowly took him away from the music he had built. In 2014, he left the band for good. His nephew Stevie stepped in on rhythm guitar, but nothing could replace Malcolm. In 2017, he passed away. Angus, his brother, wrote simply, "Mission accomplished, Mal." As if that weren't enough, Brian Johnson faced his own nightmare. Doctors warned him he risked total hearing loss if he continued performing. With no choice, he stepped down, replaced temporarily by Axl Rose. But thanks to breakthrough hearing technology, Brian fought his way back. Against the odds, his voice thundered once again across the world's arenas. And now, in 2025, AC/DC is still here.
'Cause I'm TNT, dynamite, TNT, and I wanna fight.
Angus Young, the eternal schoolboy in a blazer and shorts, remains the band's beating heart. At over 70, he still duck walks across the stage with the same manic fire as ever. Beside him, Brian Johnson, back from the brink of silence, roars with renewed strength. On rhythm guitar, Stevie Young carries on his uncle's legacy with humility and power. Cliff Williams, the quiet anchor on bass, came out of retirement to keep the engine running. And behind them all, Phil Rudd, steady, precise, unmistakable, has returned on drums, bringing back the swing that defines AC/DC. At this point, AC/DC is more than just a rock band. They are a living myth. A reminder that resilience, brotherhood, and pure grit can overcome almost anything. Every concert is more than a show. It's a celebration, a tribute to Bon, to Malcolm, and to everyone who shaped their history.
Back in the back of a Cadillac, number one with a bullet and my power pack.
And maybe that's the real secret of AC/DC. Their music was never about complexity. It was about honesty. 3 chords, loud amps, and raw power. Music that transcends generations, that speaks to the worker, the dreamer, the rebel, and the believer. In 2025, AC/DC is still standing. They have survived poverty, death, addiction, disease, and time itself. And they continue to roar. Indestructible. Immortal.